What's up, my fellow small business supporters? It's your favorite boss babe, Savvy of Savvy Writes Books. Today is one of those magical days when all the different elements of my channel combine, where we've got the books and the writing and the anti-MLM and the business gurus, and it's all here. It's all here. It's all now. Today, we are going to talk about a shady-ass business guru who is using MLM-style tactics to prey on aspiring authors. Is there enough coffee in the world to get me through this? Just drinking some boss babe fuel so that we can blast off into this video. Let's do it.
Get you some nuts.
There was lots of memes.
Makes me wonder if I should take up lesbianism.
Chicago. You guys asked for it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe. Every Monday and Friday at 11 a.m. Central, I put out new videos about books, writing, small business owner life, the anti-MLM movement, taking down pyramid schemes, destroying business gurus with the power of facts and logic. And every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central, I host a live stream called the Author Sleepover, where authors and writers and creatives and everyone else gets together and has a fun slumber party, and we get our work done, and it's great. It's a chill, fun time. Hope to see you there. Before we get too deep into today's video, we got a sponsor, y'all! And I just want to let you guys know that if I start to get more video sponsorships, it's very important to me that I will only read sponsorship ads that I truly agree with. So like, I've gotten emails here and there from people who are like, oh, like, we want to sponsor this video and you have to drink all this juice. And I'm like, I don't want to drink juice, so I just don't do it. So just so you know, my recommendations are genuine. Today's video is sponsored by the Gray and Gold podcast. Guys, I love this podcast. It is literally one of my favorite podcasts of all time. It is hosted by RK Gold, who is an author, and Graydon Square, who is an indie rapper and musician, and the two of them get together and talk about a variety of topics, and they just have the most interesting takes and perspectives on everything, and they do some of the coolest interviews. If you're in need of a new show for your morning commute or your daily walks, then look no further than the dialogue and interview-driven show, which is available on all podcast streaming services, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. They will all be linked in the description below. The Gray and Gold podcast interviews guests from all fields, engaging in conversations from the universe and psychedelics to fantasy sports. You can hear interviews from guests like Brandy Williams, the CEO of Generation Success, or enter the mind of atheist icon Aaron Ra before blasting off into space with Mary Liz Bender. You can hear all of this and more on the Gray and Gold podcast, available on all podcast streaming platforms, linked in the description below. Check it out, show it some love. In addition to today's sponsor, this video was also brought to you by my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for supporting this video and for supporting my channel in general. I really appreciate everything that you guys do, and I appreciate your support. If you want to join my Patreon, a link is in the description below. For any amount, even $1, you get access to the Patreon Discord server where we can share pictures of our pets and do small business shout-outs and cute stuff like that. And then for everyone who contributes $5 a month and up, they have their own small business or YouTube channel or social media page linked in the description below. So if you're watching this video, you're looking for some smaller creators to support, check out the links in the description below because they are all promoted there, and I really appreciate what you guys do. We're all small business supporters in this game together. It is shocking and appalling to me how many scams there are out there, how many programs and coaching services there are that like to prey on people who are trying to become authors. This is one of the reasons I do what I do, because I hate this so much. I hate so much that the author world, and the indie author world especially, and the world of authors trying to become small business owners and start up their own thing, that so much of it gets preyed on by these people who want to sell courses, these people who want to sell their expertise and their author packages and all this stuff. Now, let me be clear. I think that there are some very valid author services out there. If you want to hire a cover designer, that is an excellent expense because cover design is an art. And graphic designers are small business owners who need to make money too. If you want to hire an editor, do it, because all books should be edited, and I work as an editor. Editors need to make money. Like, all of that is good. If you have experience teaching classes, if you are good at online pedagogy and you know how to set up a course and you want to teach someone a course and price it at a reasonable rate that doesn't try to compete with accredited universities, then you know what? You do you. Have your own life. Be an entrepreneur. Make it happen. But it's when these courses come out that focus on all of these, let's manipulate the Amazon algorithm and write a subpar book, and then you too can learn how to make a course to sell to other people who will then learn how to make a course, and then you will get a commission when you sell my course to other people, and then other people will get a commission when they sell your course. Like, it starts to resemble the MLM just a little bit, like in a little triangular, three-dimensional shape, you know what we call those. So today we're going to be talking about one in particular called Self-Publishing School. The reason that we are going to be focusing on Self-Publishing School is that a former student of the Self-Publishing School reached out to me to tell me how she lost $4,000 in it and how it felt like a scam. So throughout this video, I'm going to be cutting in pieces of our interview where she is going to give some of her experiences of what it was like and how the course was so bad that she didn't even publish the book because she was not proud of how it turned out. The way that the course encouraged you to write quickly and didn't give you a lot of feedback or coaching or that kind of thing, it was just a hot mess. It's probably the worst $4,000 she ever spent, but at least she's getting the word out there.
Basically, I found Chandler Bolt through a Facebook ad, and I went to, it was like a free webinar, and I was like, sure, I'll go to the webinar, it's free.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen? And then, yeah, so I went to the free webinar. He actually gave some good advice. He really made it seem like through SEO, like thousands of people were going to find my book. And then, so because of the webinar, I already had a book idea, and I had just started my master's program. So I was like, okay, I'll think about doing this later and I'll see how much it costs then. So I didn't sign up to do the book. I still kept on getting their emails. I even emailed them and was like, hey, can you send me a few less emails because these are just too many. And then a few months later, like I want to say 6 months later, I found I was just in a really weird place. Basically what happened is I was going to grad school abroad. I went to get my master's at Plymouth College of Art in Plymouth, which is in the UK, which is like 6 hours from London. So I was pretty isolated. And then on top of that, the period when I signed up for the program, my school was like technically on like a month-long break that wasn't really a break. So the school was open like I want to say 6 hours a day, but there was barely anybody there. So I was able to go into the studios, but I was spending most of my time like completely isolated from everybody else. So obviously my mental health was struggling, and I was talking to a lot of people about it. And yeah, I signed up for the program towards the end of that. And I think that just goes to show you that for the most part, when people are making these decisions, it's not always a rational thing. They sent me a thing about a free author challenge. So I was like, yes, I want to do the author challenge, just to get something to do. And then I had a hard time signing up. So I was like, hey, I want to sign up I messaged them and I was like, hey, I want to sign up for this challenge. They got me on a call. And then it was basically like a bait and switch. Like I thought I was signing up for a free author challenge. And then they were like, no, you need to sign up for this program. And then they put me on a second call. And then on the second call, the guy was like, yeah, the program's $4,000. And if you don't pay for it now, we're going to increase the price to like...
Oh my God, the false scarcity thing that they do. She also did an interview on CoffeeZilla's podcast, The Drip. So I'll link that up in the cards. I love CoffeeZilla's channel, so that's kind of cool. Here we are. We are at the Self-Publishing School. We help you successfully write and publish books to... Okay, stop moving it so fast I can't read. Become a career author, start a business... grow a business, launch a fiction career, leave a legacy. You save years, you save thousands, you keep the royalties, you write and publish your book. We provide the step-by-step path to get there. See, this is the thing that's going to prey on newer authors. Okay, stop flashing this. Let me move down. I don't like that. Bad UI. Bad. You write and publish your book. You keep the royalties. This is just every self-publishing experience. If you want to write some furry erotica and upload it onto KDP right now, you could publish your book and keep all of the royalties. Would you make a lot of money on it? Actually, maybe. Some people out there are hungry for that, but you don't need this kind of course. And to be clear, if someone's out there like, I've been through the self-publishing process and I feel like I've mastered it and I'm also good at teaching this and I have a nice course laid out. And I'm not saying every course about this is going to be a scam, but when we learn a little more about what this course was like, we listen to the interviews and read some testimonials. You don't need a course to do this. Ooh, let's take the assessment to determine which publishing path is best for me. Which publishing path is best for my author goals? Start the assessment.
What type of book am I writing? Can I check more than one? Oh, shit! Okay, I'm writing nonfiction then. What am I writing a book about? Oh wait, I just said nonfiction. Now let's say fiction. Let's just fuck with the test a little bit. Do I want to use a book? No, now it's a memoir. Just kidding. What describes me currently? Oh, let's say I'm just completely new. I've never written anything before in my life. What's my book's progress? I've never even thought about a book. I'm ready to pay for this entire course about how to publish a book, even though I've never even read a book. I've never even looked at a book. What even is a book? I'm ready to start immediately. What am I looking for? Let's say all of the above. No, let's just go with marketing. Okay, what do I want to do after I publish my book? Market this book. What do I want to do? I want to become... Okay, I understand writing a life story and leaving a legacy, but why would you pay $thousands for a course for on how to do that if you're not even trying to make money? I'll just say that. I want to leave a legacy for my grand...
Yeah! That's some bullshit! You can make me enter my email. Okay, I understand. That's smart lead generation. I hate when they're like, take the free assessment, now we'll take your email address and mine you. I could give them Ivy's email address, but I'm just not even gonna bother. Okay, so here's the what we do section. We'll help you successfully write and publish books too. Blippity blippity blip, bad UI. No cookie. We help you save hundreds of hours in the process. Save thousands of dollars. Okay, but if you're selling me editing services and shit, how come hundreds has an apostrophe but thousands doesn't? Like I talked about in my 5 tips for editing video, you edit for clarity, correctness, conciseness, and consistency. Consistency is probably the most important one because there are a lot of rules within the English language that vary based on what style you're using. For example, if you're using AP style, then you don't use a serial comma. If you're using Chicago style, you do use a serial comma, but you don't if you're using an ampersand, right? So there's no cut and dry way to do each of these things, especially if the thing you're writing is not meant to be published in a specific academic journal or a specific type of publication. So what's really important is being consistent with it. So already you're losing credibility with me. Yes, I want to work with you. Oh wait, here's here's the programs! Dude, this is Chandler Bolt. We're gonna talk about Chandler Bolt. He's the guy that runs this company. Chandler Bolt. Got our business guru friend right here. Alright, let's look at this. Our programs.
You've tried researching it yourself. You've listened to countless videos and trainings and read all the blog posts and emails. All of this without receiving clear direction on what matters. Okay.
I don't want to be, I know this is biased and I don't want to be like promoting myself or anything here, but I think in the AuthorTube community, there's already so much information out there about how to self-publish. People do all of these videos taking you through their process of, here's my vlog of me writing my entire book. Here's how I selected my editor. Here's my video of me cover designing or me hiring someone. People do videos breaking down their monthly income. I've seen people doing videos talking about their entire plan or how they set up their email list. Like there's videos for almost everything. Okay, so here we go. We've got courses for Publish the Book and Beyond the Book, which are all expensive as hell, dude. These are so expensive. All programs include one-on-one tailored coaching, group coaching, blah, 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 blah. Live weekly Q&A with Chandler Bolt. Who the fuck even is Chandler Bolt? Let's look at Chandler Bolt on Amazon. Okay, all Chandler Bolt has written is books about writing and publishing. But has he ever successfully written or published something that's not about how to successfully write and publish? This is the MLM shit I'm talking about, right? Because if the only thing you write is books about how to successfully write and publish, and then other people do that too, it's like, when does the actual thing, where is the actual product for the actual customer? Ugh, I hate this. I hate this so much. But is this like, are these all of his books? Okay. Let's use the Kindle calculator to see how he's doing. All right, so we're on the KDP calculator. Let's look at how well Chandler Bolt's books are doing, just so we know if he's worth paying for these $7,000 courses on how to be a best-selling author. Let's just look at this one called Published, because it's a book about publishing. It's got a pretty high rating. This is his number in the Kindle store. We're gonna put that in the calculator. Less than a book a day! And guys, I'm not saying like that. You could look up some of my books and I'm sure I'm selling less than a book a day. But I'm not trying to sell you $7,000 courses on this shit about how you're going to become a best-selling author and how I have all the marketing secrets. But let's just check, are any of his books selling more than one book a day? All right, let's look at book launch. How to write, market, and publish your first bestseller in 3 months or less and use it to start and grow a 6-figure business. Okay, this title is long and ridiculous, but to be fair, a lot of what sells in the ebook world comes from using Amazon as a search engine, so I get needing to put keywords in it, like especially in romance. I'm working on some holiday romances right now. My holiday romances are never just going to be called their title. They're going to have like a colon after it and be like a romance with these tropes in it, with these genders in it. Like, you just have to do that because that's how it works. But let's just see how this is doing. 438-231. 438-231. Less than a book a day, dude. Okay, so his book called How to Write, Market, and Publish Your First Bestseller in 3 months or Less and Use It to Start and Grow a 6-Figure Business is selling less than a book a day. I'm proud of you, bud. So let's take a look back at some of these courses over here.
What was there really anything to it, or like what? I guess like take me through when you signed up for the course, then you got what, like videos or coaching sessions, or how did the process kind of work?
Yeah, so you had videos and you had coaching sessions. The coaching sessions weren't terrible, but like it definitely wasn't what they promised, which was they definitely were not worth $4,000. You met with your coach, I think, 8 times, and the first session was like 45 minutes or an hour, and then after that it was 30 minutes. So you really barely got to talk about anything. And like, I don't know, I feel like if you're an entrepreneur and you're really stuck, and you really need help, half an hour is just not gonna do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like, I feel like there's so much psychological stuff that's there that like will prevent people from succeeding, and you really don't. I mean, there's a reason why people go to therapy. It's like, if you're really stuck with something, then it's like, I don't know, I feel like instead of seeing a coach, you should just go see a professional.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So there were the coaching sessions, and then there were some videos, and did it like, was it walking you through like how to format a book and how to make a cover and how to upload to Kindle? Like, was it covering that, or like what was it covering in terms of how to publish?
So yeah, so it went over the same things as you saw on Amazon Seller University.
Oh, okay.
And like basically the same information. It did go over some basic SEO. There was a tool that they wanted you to buy that you don't need, obviously, like everything else.
Yeah.
That they're like, buy this tool for $50 and it'll show you how to do Amazon SEO. And yeah, basically it showed you how to do that. And then, yeah, then it showed you some like basic things about marketing. They have this whole plan to like, they give you like a little calendar that you need to follow to, that's like, yeah, they give you a little calendar that you need to follow that tells you like all of the steps and when to do it. That way it's broken down into like manageable chunks. And yeah, although they said that they break everything down to manageable chunks, and like, I'm sure you're aware, it's still a lot of work.
Oh, definitely.
Published.
Getting a book published is a ton of work. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, they tell you like, oh, you'll get your book published in 90 days with like 30 minutes of writing, but it's really 2 hours of work per day. It's not, and like, I did 2 hours of work per day when I was doing it, and The book I wrote wasn't even that good because, I mean, I'm sure it would be good if I like went through all the editing phases
right.
and with a really good editor and we get my book together. But that's just not how it works.
So did this program, like, okay, so it's trying to get you to publish a book in 90 days, which is ridiculously fast. Like, I have friends who do like rapid release romance who do that, but that's because they start those books like 6 months before then, and then it's like on a rolling scale. So it's a little different, but like, okay, so did they want you to like skip over editing and copy editing?
Their feedback, their idea of editing the book is to go on Fiverr.
Now we're on the Fake Guru subreddit to read a couple posts that people have written about Chandler Bolt, who is the founder of this self-publishing school. Chandler Bolt is a fake guru and the self-publishing school is a scam. Chandler Bolt baits you in by telling you that you can become an Amazon bestseller or get a full refund, but what he doesn't tell you is that Amazon has thousands of categories, so anyone can become a bestseller. That's what we talked about in the video that I did about success in 100 pages. That is how these coaches try to get you, by saying like, I'm an Amazon bestseller in this incredibly obscure category where I sell less than a book a day. So I love this. Actually, I found an article of a man who became an Amazon bestseller by publishing a picture of his foot. Man uploads a picture of his foot. Okay, wait, we've got to read this. Ew, why are you giving me Tony Robbins ads? I need to start doing all my videos in incognito because my whole everything now is like, buy our essential oils. Tony Robbins will save your life. Man uploads picture of his foot to Amazon, immediately becomes #1 bestseller. Apparently anyone can now earn the highly coveted title of being an Amazon bestseller book by taking a picture of their foot and selling it online. Oh my god. Brent Underwood, a partner at a marketing company called Brass Check, decided to debunk the hype behind being a best-selling author on the popular online marketplace site. He decided to test his hunch out by taking a picture of his foot and listing it as a book on Amazon. Underwood wrote on The Observer, "Last week I put up a fake book on Amazon. I took a photo of my foot, uploaded it to Amazon, and in a matter of hours it had achieved #1 bestseller status, complete with the orange banner and everything. If anyone was wondering how many copies he sold, the answer is 3. I decided my foot was worthy of the transpersonal category under psychology books and Freemasonry and secret societies under social sciences books." So he just found like the least populated categories, put a picture of his foot on there, got 3 people to buy it, and it shot to #1 because, like I've said before, Amazon does everything by category and every list is updated hourly, so if he sold 3 books in that 1 hour in these very small categories, he became a bestseller. Now, if you become a bestseller in a category like romance or a category like horror, that's an actual accomplishment. I know that, like, when I've said that, like, One Final Vinyl reached bestseller in teen music fiction and YA mental health fiction, those are smaller categories, so that's not the same thing as receiving #1 in all of young adult. But I also sold more than 3 copies, and it also was a real book and not a picture of a foot. If you're an author and you've achieved that orange banner because you had a successful launch day, that is definitely something to celebrate, and I think that as authors we need to celebrate all of those victories, large and small. But it's definitely not a credential for selling someone else a course on how to successfully publish a book. Self-Publishing School and Chandler Bolt is a scam, $5,990 down the toilet. Self-Publishing School is a crock of BS. I paid $5,990 for their premium package, and I've tried to get a refund, but they refuse. I filed complaints with the Better Business Bureau and Consumer Affairs, and they couldn't help me. My VIP package came with 6 teaching calls that amounted to being told to watch a bunch of YouTube videos and pressure to finish my book, because one of the big things they don't tell you during the high pressure call is that you have only 1 year to use the coaching, finish your book, and have access to the Facebook support group. Wait, whoa. Doesn't it say, it says right here, lifetime course access. Looks like someone's lying. It's probably the course. I still have 9 of the coaching calls remaining because it unfortunately took me 7 of them to realize what a crock of shit this company is. They teach you to manipulate the Amazon algorithms to become a bestseller for a minute in some obscure combination of genres. The best sellers that I've seen come from this group are written as good as an 8-year-old could do. Plus, you get bombarded with tons of marketing for their other BS products. I've never fallen for such a scam in my entire life and cannot believe they refuse a refund. The coach even told me that he doesn't care if I get a refund because he's already been paid. Chandler Bolt is a bullshit artist who cons people by playing on their dreams. Dude, I hate this. I hate this. Like, this is the stuff that really gets me fired up because I care about the independent author world. I think that self-publishing is an important thing that needs to exist and needs to be respected. And this is a rant I could go on forever. I'll link my narrowcasting video up in the cards because this is such an important thing. Self-publishing is a way that a lot of marginalized stories get out there. It is a way that a lot of stories that a big 5 publishing corporation doesn't feel is currently profitable or doesn't want to take a risk on can get out there. And it's a way that people can find a core target audience of maybe a couple hundred or a couple thousand readers rather than having everything have to be a huge bestseller. You know, if you publish with a big 5 publishing company and your book sells like less than 1,000 copies, it's like, oh God, this was such a huge failure. This is abysmal. If you self-publish a book and you have a core audience of 1,000 readers and you can make money doing that because you're keeping all of your royalties and you are writing something that that specific group wants to read, that is a success. It doesn't have to have wide appeal. And so many stories are able to get out there by people who aren't usually able to tell them. So much of LGBT and queer romance is through self-publishing, is published in indie books. And yes, some big 5 publishing houses do publish those books too, but the huge movement for that really has come through the self-publishing world. And I think this world is so important and so impactful on society, and it just really bothers me that there are these scammer business guru types who just want to come in here and take advantage of the people who want to make something good out of something. And it's just, I hate it. I hate it so, guys, I hate it! I am an Army veteran and full-time student. I am also in a homeless program, and I discussed this with the agent on the phone. 3 times this week I have emailed their agency, and 3 times I have not received a reply. Here is what I need answered. I was looking over the invoice sent and I am concerned. When I first spoke with the representative, I told him I was on a limited budget, very limited. In the $4,800 total for the invoice, I do not see where any costs go toward actually publishing my book. If I give you the full amount of the invoice, I will have nothing to go towards publishing. Since my book is about homelessness, and I told the representative that I too am in a homeless program, it seems that now I am stuck like Chuck. If I pay you, my aspirations of publishing the book will not get published before graduation. Please advise, this is bad business practice of not having good customer service when questions come up. No one, especially a homeless veteran, should be taken advantage of. It's just not right. I really feel taken advantage of, and me trying to get myself out of a homeless status makes my situation even more frustrating. So this is the kind of thing, right, where you have these companies, and we see this a lot with MLMs too, that even if someone's in a situation where they legitimately can't afford it, the person who's selling it to them will still try to convince them that the investment is going to be worth it, even though it's not.
The way I paid for this course was from money that I got so I had a cycling accident a couple years ago, and the way I got the money for the course was that was money that was supposed to be there in case I needed money for medical expenses after going through this biking accident. I actually have like fake front teeth, so like because of that, for like a year, if I had knocked my teeth out or anything, I would be able to get the replacement. And like with my teeth, because they're crowns, like I could need a replacement at any moment.
Yeah.
So like I told the guy that I was like, if I can't make this money, he said, you can definitely make your money back in 90 days. And I said, like, if I can't make this money back in 90 days, then I might not be able to like pay for new teeth if I need them. And he said, you'll make your money back in 90 days.
Oh my God, I hate that. It's so manipulative.
You will be constantly pitched to because you will need to pay additional services to publish. Oh my God, I hate upsells, right? We see this with people like Dan Locke and those kind of people who are like, take this course, pay this amount of money, and here are the things you will get. But they actually just scratch the surface of each of those things, because then if you want the actual full service of that thing, now you need to pay for a more advanced version, or you need to pay for an upsell. Oh my God, I hate this. Get ready for the upsells because there will be a lot of them. You will probably need to invest $50,000 into the program to fully complete the program between their upsells, their conference, and their affiliates. Oh God, they have a conference too.
Once I got into the program, I found out that where the money's really made is by buying an upsell. And they have $30,000 worth of upsells.
Oh
Thank God I didn't go down that route. But they tried to put me into a funnel for an upsell to spend an additional $6,000.
Oh my God.
And the program was for a course to show you how to sell courses.
Of course it was!
So how much will it cost to publish through Self-Publishing School? When I signed up for Self-Publishing School, I was told that the only additional things I needed to spend money on were cover design and editing. Okay, but with those prices, why don't they have cover designers like ready to work with you and that's included? Like, why wouldn't that be included? Anyway, while my sales representative told me that each service would be around $200, that's not enough money for quality services. As an artist, if someone asked me to design a book cover for them for $200, I would laugh. Between mocking up various designs and revisions, I would make a terrible wage for these services. Here's a Reedsy statement on the matter. So yeah, average, when I work with a publisher, generally cover design fees come out to between $300 and $500, like this says here. When I hired artists for my Forever Home Friends covers, I've paid them $300 per cover. So while Chandler Bolt tells students that done is better than perfect, my postgraduate professors, university professors, and colleagues in the publishing world warned me that a poor quality book may compromise my long-term professional reputation. I agree and disagree with this. I do think that if you're going to put something into the world, you need to put quality first and you need to care about your customers. However, I do also agree that done is better than perfect because one of the things I love about the indie author world is that it doesn't place such a huge emphasis on the debut the way that the traditional publishing world does. I don't think that an author's debut book needs to be the best thing ever. Like, it should be quality and you should not be cutting corners and you should not, like, do not take that as license to take shortcuts. But what I'm saying is that I don't think you need to stress over, like, the idea that, oh my God, if this book isn't good, it's going to ruin my entire reputation as an author, because I don't think that's true. A lot of indie authors I know have, you know, sometimes hundreds of books out because they write a lot and put out a lot, and some of them are amazing and some of them aren't as good as the others, but you know, that's not going to totally ruin their reputation. So I think that that line of thinking can lead to people being really stressed and afraid to put their work out there, when to an extent, if you are going to treat being an author like running a business, then you need to be constantly working and constantly putting things out, but it still does need to be quality. So that's why I say I both agree and disagree. I think there needs to be a balance there. You will also be pitched additional courses and services. When I originally found the VIP 2.0 course, I was under the impression that the course would teach me everything I needed to know to become a successful author. Yeah, because that's what they tell you, but of course, the business gurus are full of lies. Despite the fact that SPS coaching calls are only 30 minutes, my coach would waste my time during the coaching calls that I paid for by pitching additional courses and services to me. I hate this. I hate it.
With the program, they don't actually give you any feedback on the actual writing. Mm-hmm. The coach is just there to answer your question. You just get 30 minutes and that's it. They'll spend time going through, like, they'll spend time like trying to sell you different products on the coaching calls. So you're not just going through the questions, you're going through like different,
So your coach doesn't even like read your writing and give you any feedback?
No, they don't even read your...
Oh my God, that's horrible. Like, I would think at the very least it would be like, okay, I wrote this thing. Do you have advice? Like, are there mistakes? Are there plot holes? Are there things you'd like to see better? Like, they don't even do that. That's, oh my God.
Yeah, like you should be able to send your outline and like get some real feedback on it. If they don't want to go through the full manuscript, they should at least read a chapter.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, that's ridiculous. With the prices you're paying, they should absolutely read the full manuscript.
Yeah, no, it's completely ridiculous. The other thing that they do is, so after the upsell for the course building course, they tried to put me in another upsell for a conference that they had.
When you get into this world of like selling courses and this world of MLMs and things like that, a lot of people involved in these seem to almost neglect the consumer, seem to neglect that there is an end customer here. So it's like, okay, you want to sell like Herbalife products, and it's like put out here is like, okay, you can make this much money and this much money, but it's like, okay, but what is the end customer getting? And why would I want the end customer to become my own competitor and things like that? That's similar here. It's like, the book should be a product that the reader can enjoy. It shouldn't just be a tool for the author to make money. Like, yes, every author should be making money for their work, but the product is supposed to be, ideally, you make money in exchange for providing someone else value. So the book should be for the reader primarily. So if the focus is not on the quality, it just becomes like such an insular, like, I'll make money off of making money off of you, making money off of you, and that's when the pyramid starts. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a very like pyramid scheme-esque. One thing that I did see, which is one of the reasons I said it was MLM-like, is not only are you making your own course from the course that's supposed to be about books, but also you are, if you convince somebody else to buy the course, then you'll get $250, which is...
Oh, okay. So you get like a commission off of selling the course.
Yeah, so number one, everyone in the program is automatically enrolled in their affiliate program. I did actually pitch it to several people, and they were upset at me over it, and actually one of them was somebody, I think we would have stopped being friends anyways, because I ended up finding out that he had some very toxic views about women.
Oh, okay. So
So we would have definitely stopped being friends. But because I pitched the course to him, he got really upset at me. And that was really when our friendship started taking a toll, and then like it just went downhill from there. So these things, I've definitely had quite a few issues. And actually there were other friendships where I like tried to pitch the class to them, and they were like, are you really trying to pitch a $4,000 class to me when you're not even done taking it? And they got really upset at me.
Yeah. So was it presented like your coaches like were encouraging you to sell the course to other people?
Yeah, so it was like encouraged that like if we sold the course that we would make $250, and everybody was making sure that we knew, but it wasn't like pushed as a tactic on us. Like we weren't going out and like messaging.
Okay, so at least it wasn't like they didn't try to like forcibly pressure you into it, but it was just something that was presented as like a way to make back the money and that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it was presented as a way to make back the money, and I'm sure some people were like desperate to make that money back.
Yeah, because that's such a huge amount of money. Like $4,000. Like if I had an extra $4,000 right now, it's like I think of all the things I could do for my own business and the things I could get from my own. Like that's a lot of money that they are just like freely taking from people. Like you said, like that money was there for if like you needed new teeth, and this dude was like, "Don't worry about it." Like that's gross. I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's so gross to do that. It's disgusting.
Look at this one, course building for authors, right here, course building for authors. Turn your book into an online course and get your first 10 sales. This is where the MLM comes in, right? This is where the pyramid's at. You're gonna take a course on how to write a book, and then you're gonna write a book that's gonna lead to people wanting to take your course on how to write a book, and then who's actually gonna these books? What reader is going to read a book and just enjoy it, and that's the end of that interaction? When does that come in? That's where the MLM element comes into this a little bit, and I hate it. I hate it. First 10 course sales guaranteed. How could you possibly guarantee that? Here's the sell more books course. Sell 1,000 more copies of your books in the next 6 months. Okay, let's say your book is making you a $3 royalty on Amazon, which, if you're selling an ebook or a paperback book at a comparable price when factoring in printing costs, $3 per book in aid revenue through Amazon with Amazon's cut and all of that's about standard. Let's say you want to sell 1,000 more copies of your book. That's 3,000. So you make $3,000 from that, but you spent almost $5,000 on the course. How is that a good return on investment? That's a fucking scam. Basically, once you purchase the course, you're in a sales funnel. God damn it. Here's the sales funnel. Let's look at the sales funnel. Oh my God. And I hate how it co-opts like college language. Like, phase 1, this is your bachelor's, this is your master's, this is your PhD. Like, no, paying this Chandler Bolt dude for courses is not the same thing as getting a PhD in anything. That is ridiculous, especially since, as we've learned, what you learn in this course is absolutely not on par with what you would learn in college or especially in grad school. Y'all, I did go to grad school for writing and publishing. I have a master's degree in writing and publishing. This shit... no. If you want some good videos on writing advice and craft advice, I'm going to shout out one of my AuthorTube friends. His name is Robert Jones, and his channel is called Story Detective. It's cute. It's like D and then tech, like technology, because he does technology reviews for different like software programs and different like machines to write on and things like that. He's amazing. And he started this series called Wordstock, which I've taken part in a couple times. And this series is where a bunch of different authors get together and he makes a playlist where each of us do a video about the same topic. So the topic might be like how to write good dialogue or how to have a catchy story opening or things like that. So there's playlists on these, which I will link up in the cards, and you can just watch through all those videos and hear a million authors' different takes on how they do each different thing. So you don't need to like pay for a course. You can get so much experience from different people watching something like that. It's tough being a boss babe out here in this cruel world. So if any of you are out there and you want to write a book and you think the self-publishing path is something that would be beneficial to you, I encourage you to do it. If you are confused on the process and are like, I don't know how to find cover designers, I don't know how to format a book, I don't know how to upload it to Amazon, I don't know whatever, just leave me a comment below or like reach out to me or reach out to like literally almost any of my author friends, and we would be happy to point you towards resources to help with that. There are so many free resources available. You do not need an expensive ass course to learn this. You really, really don't. And a lot of this is also best learned through experience. And this is another reason why I don't think there needs to be such an emphasis on the debut book. Through putting out your first book and trying to navigate the process by yourself and trying to figure out what works and doesn't work through trial and error the first time, you will learn a lot about what works best and what doesn't. But you don't need to ever pay for an expensive course to learn about this. You don't. Guys, before you go, I wanted to make an announcement, which is that Sunday Power Hour live streams are back. If you remember back during NaNoWriMo, I was writing a novel on live streams called Cancel Sean Boston. We are still working on that novel. Sunday live streams on my channel at 11 a.m. Central. Head over and do some writing with us. Do some writing sprints. It's a power hour of writing productivity. Then Wednesday night, I also have my sleepover writing stream, so that'll be fun. And Monday, I will have another video out for you guys. I will see you all again then. In the meantime, support small businesses, don't support business gurus, buy from your local bookstore, buy from indie authors, search out there into the world to find new books by new people, support narrowcasting as a concept, don't support business guru courses because they suck. Happy writing, everyone!
Get you some nuts.
There was lots of memes.
Makes me wonder if I should pick up lesbianism.
Chicago. You guys asked for it.